On this channel we speak a lot about pens, new releases, iconic older models, also more educational videos around beautiful writing instruments. But did you ever wonder what are the hottest pieces in 2025? And I'm not talking about units sold, but more about what is in the mouth of the collectors. What are they researching? What are the things that enthusiasts worldwide really appreciate? I've gone through our analytics, but I've also asked other experts in the field, and I've seen that the pattern always repeats itself. What's the result? It's 5 hot categories you need to know about. And we start with category number 1, which is Maki-e pens. In general, last year and this year, a lot of new collectors, people that appreciate fine craft, have entered the game of collecting and of course using fine writing instruments. And what we're seeing is that people truly love the fine art of Maki-e. Of course, Japan already feels like craftsmanship, but when you look at the incredible art that is Maki-e and how much know-how, time, precision goes into the making of one of those incredible pens, well, it's kind of obvious that it's one of the first categories that people jump onto. Think about it, when it comes to Maki-e, you have different kind of artists with different kind of experiences, and each single piece, each single specific model that is being released on the market has its own complexity. Some are more complex and more limited, some have a bit less detail but are still very complex in the making, and then there is this polymerization process that is needed in order to dry the lacquer on the ebonite through humidity. So there's a whole incredible, almost still mysterious and hidden process behind Maki-e that we'll hopefully be able to discover even further in the next months and years, and really understand how much work, how much passion, and how much experience is needed to finally complete one of those Maki-e pens. And who are some of the brands that do Maki-e pens? Of course, Namiki is number 1 with the Kokokai group. Then there is, of course, if you're looking at the elite when it comes to Maki-e, then we're looking at Dunhill Namiki. But there, of course, a new piece is released every 5, 7, 9 years. Or there is, for example, the Pelican, like the goldfish that they've just released. That's another beautiful Maki-e pen that is highly collectible, limited to only 123 pieces. There is, for example, also Sailor that creates some beautiful Maki-e designs with Iki Moroike. One of the latest that is being released soon and that we will be covering on this channel is the new Urashima Taro, limited to 50 pieces. So Maki-e has really a special place in the heart of people that appreciate beautiful pens, that appreciate fine craftsmanship, that love stories behind their products, and that's why Maki-e is definitely one of the hot categories when it comes to pens. Category number 2 is Sailor King of Pen. We are seeing an incredible rise in sales when it comes to the King of Pen. On one end, I'm pretty sure that it's just because the Sailor King of Pen is probably the best writer on the market. The flexibility, the sound, the feeling, the beautiful flow. You can just see the ink flowing out of that incredible, beautiful big nib. So we're seeing that every time that we talk about Sailor King of Pens, for people in their head, it's already an immediate yes. If then we're talking about a beautiful piece that maybe has Maki-e on it, or like the Mono no Aware, that is this beautiful Tamenuri Takesukashi technique, or even other pieces that are being released, or for example, if we talk about the classic Urushi Sailor King of Pens, the one that are priced at around 1,300 Swiss francs and that are not that easy to get just because it takes time to do them and the request is quite high, or for example, the Hiromiyabi collection. So you see, there is a high variety of Sailor King of Pens, of beautiful colors, and each single one, when you put them next to each other, they look so similar but so different to each other. So Sailor King of Pen is one of the hot categories when it comes to fountain pen usage and fountain pen collecting. Category number number 3 is pocket pens. This is a segment that I have snubbed for so long. Montblanc has really brought it back into the mass market. And so the Heritage Rouge et Noir Baby has been a huge success. It comes in this black lacquer, it comes in the ivory, and now also in the coral color. And they've also released the Schreiberling that was priced quite high, but has been extremely successful because people, I realized, love pocket pens. Another thing that proves that pocket pens are highly successful is, of course, the Elwood Pocket Master. When we look at the Elwood Pocket Master, it's now sold out for 2025. Of course, we're not talking about huge units, but we're talking about pieces that the feeling is everyone has their eyes on it. And no matter if you're someone that usually uses like oversized pens, a pocket pen like the Pocket Master or like the Baby is just something that is always appreciated, loved. I don't know if it's just that feeling of having something small that you can cap and then use, that you can actually put in your pocket and carry around like that with a nice little pouch or even without the pouch. But pocket pens are being successful. And so I think and I hope that other brands like Caran d'Ache, like Graf Faber-Castell will think about adding a nice pocket pen to their collection because it just sells, it works, it's something that people truly love and appreciate. Category number 4 is handmade craftsmanship. Yes, we're seeing a huge success when it comes to brands that are really handmade. I've talked about Elwood before. You've probably seen the documentary that we did about Elwood's workshop that reached almost 100,000 people, or also the documentary that we did about Yard de Lead. Both these brands that are really craftsmanship, they don't produce high numbers, high units, but every time we're able to restock them here at Style of Zug, for example, they're immediately being bought. So you can see that there is a high attention, high energy around those brands. Elwood, for example, is sold for all of 2025, and 2026 is not gonna bring many more pieces out on the market. And also with Yard de Lead, for example, they're opening up their new boutique in October at Piccadilly Arcade. So there is something happening about those brands that really focus and really go in depth when it comes to craftsmanship. We can kind of relate this handmade craftsmanship also to Maki-e pens or Japanese pens, where there is this handmade element of applying urushi or painting on a body. These are elements that people truly appreciate, that people love. Or even, for example, if you look at brands like Scribo that's focused so hard on their nibs and they tune each single nib with a large variety of nib sizes that are available. These are things that people love. So craftsmanship, putting the human hand at work for something that will then reach the house of the person who purchased it, is something that creates so many emotions in the people, and that definitely makes this another hot category in fine writing instrument in 2025. And then category number 5, Montblanc. Montblanc is and remains a hot topic. It doesn't matter if we're talking about an older edition, limited edition, special edition, whatever it might be, or if we're talking about newer releases like the Goethe or the Around the World in 80 Days, or other editions that will be coming out and I can assure you will be extremely successful. Thing is that Montblanc has that special appeal. Why is it so? It's because they put a lot of attention to detail. Each single nib is embossed by itself and therefore has its own character. You've got so much creativity in those specific pieces, and that's something that, you know, always pays back when it comes to a brand. So Montblanc is and remains one of the brands that, no matter if you're a big collector, if you're someone that is already into more niche products, or if you're new, Montblanc is the name. You might start at a specific model and then go up to more special and more limited pieces, up to even, you know, 333s or 88s or 58 limited edition of Montblanc. but Montblanc is and remains the brand that has one of the biggest know-hows, if not actually the biggest know-how in the industry, and therefore is one of the brands that is truly appreciated, is and remains a hot category when it comes to collecting fine writing instruments. I found it important to kind of mention what is currently hot, because we keep on talking about specific pens, but maybe you that are not here at the store and don't have the chance to just drop by are asking yourself, yeah, but what is it that I should buy? What is it that other buy and therefore that has credibility and that I can trust? Well, this is definitely a nice list and category of pieces that I can tell you people are truly enjoying. We get feedbacks on a daily basis. And I have called this video the What's Hot in 2025. But this is such a timeless and iconic industry and product that, of course, what's hot in 2025, honestly, will surely be hot for the next 5 to 10 years. Because there is important elements behind those things. It's not just something that is fashionable, it's not something that is related to a certain cut or a certain color or a certain fabric. Pocket pens or a Sailor King of pen or Maki-e pens or Montblanc or handmade craftsmanship, these are not hot things just in 2025, but they're hot things because they've been hot things in the past. They are even hotter things now in the present because people are realizing what was in the past and they are giving it even more attention in the present, and it's only gonna grow even further in the future. So you can rest assured that whatever you're looking into these 5 categories, you can feel safe, you can feel happy, and you can feel proud. Let me know down in the comments what are other categories that are absolutely a hot topic when it comes to fine writing instrument. I always love to read your comments down there, and you're of course adding so much to this beautiful community. Stay tuned for more content that is coming up, and don't forget that together we are changing the game.